friends. Welcome to Thursday evening. It is August 24th. This is Valerie from Illumination Portal. We're simulcasting to both of our channels.
Yeah. Hi.
Valerie, you're literally floating on water right now.
I know. I like it. I need it. I needed to relax a little bit. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Kelly, for having me. I appreciate you.
Valerie, how many times have you been a guest on my channel? Like a billion times, it seems like. We are old friends, of course. Of course, why not? You are the retrograde planet astrology sort of expert, you and Diana, and so I'm thrilled that you could join me.
Awesome.
And I'm happy that we're doing this because, friends, by the end of August, we are going to have like 5 planets in retrograde. There's a whole lot of stuff happening. And so I thought, hey, why not?
Yeah.
7. Look at that.
Yep. This time period to now until December, January is the time to focus in. Go in. Because we don't have all the information yet. Spirit, when a planet goes retrograde, it's because we need more information. We need where there's a lot we don't know. So 7 planets, there's a lot we don't know, really, and Spirit's coming in heavy with we can feel it. We can feel the higher vibrations coming through. And this is actually a really good time to go into your heart, because Leo season was about going into your heart. Venus is still in Leo retrograde, and she only wants us to focus on what we love and value and honor. And it takes us a while because we think, I got to get it done. I got to do it now. I got to do this. I got to do that. You know, how we drive ourselves crazy, right? But it's all about go at a natural pace. Go in, heal your bodies, do some things for your health, because Virgo is all about health and the detail.
I found some fun facts and you can like co-sign to these about things, just little things that we can do that can help us sort of navigate.
Sure.
Add citrus to your routine. Citrus is the essence of Mercury. And so they suggest adding lemon or lime or grapefruit or orange to your diet. And that can help you literally just sort of be able to take the retrograde and the frustration that comes along with retrograde and not be so frustrated with it. And I don't know about you guys, when I read that, I thought about, there was a candle that I used to buy from a particular company that smelled like an orange creamsicle. And I would light that up and I would put it in the kitchen, and every time you walked into the kitchen, all you wanted to do was grab like an orange soda or like, like an orange sherbet. It smelled so lovely. And it really does. It just sort of perks you up, that sort of smell or that scent, I want to say, right?
Yeah, citrus does pump you up. It brightens you immediately. It's a brightening. Yeah, then tequila. Oh, those were the days, Karen. Jeez.
I've never had it. Let's say hi to some folks while we're here. We have JC in the house, and Liz is here. Thank you for being here. Starfish HHI. Jenny is here. Pierrette White is in the house. Hershey is here. Hello.
Hi, Kayla.
Karen is here. Akila is here. Everybody's on your channel. You need the watch hours. My friend. We'll get you there. All right. So here's what we're gonna do, friends. We're gonna chat a little bit. We are gonna do some real quick readings. So we'll chat for like 15-20 minutes, and then we'll do readings. I'll let you guys know when to put your sort of, pick me kind of symbol into the chat, and then we'll go from there if that is okay with everybody. Hi, Lady Soul.
Hi, Lady Soul. Hi, Janet. Love you, Janet C. Bora. Such a sweetheart.
Absolutely.
Oh, everybody, just beautiful souls, and I feel the energy. Every time I'm on a live and everybody in the chat, it's just amazing. I'm so grateful.
I was thinking of doing something, and so in preparation for doing this, something that I was thinking of, I had
Mercury retrograde.
occasion to talk about my story and how it came to be on YouTube, um, and it makes me so emotional every time I think about it. Um, but to your point about feeling the love, I literally wrote those exact words, that
Mm-hmm.
every time I show up, every time I turn that camera on,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm a different person. And what I mean by that is I am happy. I have no issues. I have no
Mm-hmm.
fears. I don't show up as the anxiety ridden Kelly of before. Now I show up of, as this like happy, positive, or at least I try to, person that is just like, there are days when I find it difficult to comprehend and really sort
Mm-hmm.
of
Right.
wrap my head around the amount of love and support and encouragement and inspiration that you can get from, whether it's in a chat or whether it's on a screen, or like that, how that whole machine comes together. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I can't really articulate it very well, but it's hard to put into words what it does. Do you not find it? It's just amazing.
It's amazing. I can't believe, like, a few, 3, 4 so years ago, that I found people that are heart centered and soul centered and feel the way I do, and
Yeah.
just wanna bring the vibration up. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It really does. It chokes you up because
Well,
that's
I
not
mean,
normal.
you
And
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 I have been there. Like,
yeah,
you and I have been there, Val. Like, we've been on that side where it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it till tomorrow. I don't know if that I want to.
right,
I mean, we've both been there.
yeah,
And it's hard to believe for our own selves that we could be there on this side and be like,
mm-hmm,
can you imagine if you had given up?
mm-hmm,
Because then you would have missed all this.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I feel like I'm in like kindergarten. Like, I feel like
yeah,
I'm just getting started, like
yeah,
I've got like to get to university. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I literally feel that enthusiastic sometimes. Like, I'm just sort of starting to figure myself out.
yeah.
I just don't want it to stop.
Mm-mm.
You
As
know?
long as we're here, and the spirit is guiding us to help uplift each other,
Mm,
I'm never going to stop.
no, me
I
neither.
mean, that would never,
You
that
guys
wouldn't
are
even
gonna have to
cross.
drag me away from the desk.
I, I want to be a positive influence, because there is positive things going on despite
100%.
all that crap going on out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's enticing, and yeah, we have to know what's going on, but don't live there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Karen loves the fireside.
yeah. I
Oh,
would listen. I love my fire pit. I wanted to have. I've had only two this season because we have had the air quality advisories in effect with all the wildfires, and so we
oh,
haven't been able to have a fire because we've had fire restrictions. We can't even have a barbecue.
oh
Like, that's
man.
how bad that's how bad the air quality is here. We can't even have a barbecue. So,
I wish
believe me, I am missing them too. But thank you for saying so. As soon as I am able, I will bring it back.
she's a
Last year I was
sweet.
out there in November
Yeah,
in my snowmobile too, in my parka,
yeah.
because that's how much I like my fires. Hi,
I think
Wiki.
she will be again. I know Wiki's here. Hi, Wiki. So that stuff that's going on and all that craziness. We are in a change. We're in an age change. Age of Pisces is closing down. The age of Aquarius is coming in, and we just think of the courage and the strength it took for us as souls to come all this way to
Yeah,
help walk through that new age. and
hundred
and
percent.
and this is what we're all here for, just by being the love you are, just
Yeah,
by radiating the light worker, love worker, energy worker vibration. So it's when that really hit me, knowing that, a few years back, well, longer, but I was like, oh my God, I can't be the only one. And then come on, find all of you in the chat, find all this. I mean, it's amazing. It just blew my mind. And that's all spirit. Spirit directs all of it.
Oh yeah,
Spirit
absolutely.
in it all. Even all this astrology is all spirit. The retrogrades, all spirit. Spirit wants us to remember what it is we might have missed. Hi, Diana. This is my buddy.
Absolutely. Miss Diana, welcome, my friend. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Rossi. Hi, Rose Blue. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
I love it. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Hopefully, I haven't
missed falling out of the sky, Tiffany. Your mom saying that? Well, it seems like that. Seems like the sky's falling. If we pay attention to the news, if we pay attention to the distortion, and there is a lot wrong, and it does have to be exposed, and so we can see it and acknowledge it and send it love, because that's what we do, and it starts to heal it. That's what we do. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I just want to mention a couple more things that I found while I was searching around the internet.
Okay.
Remember that this is for entertainment purposes only, friends. So this is interesting. 5 crystals that can help us sort of navigate Mercury retrograde.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned aquamarine.
Aquamarine. See, I'm going to pull them up as you talk about them. Here's an aquamarine.
Okay. Thank you. Amazonite.
Amazonite. No, that's turquoise. Amazonite. I know I have one over here. It's probably on the other side. Okay.
I have a whole. Yeah, I should have got mine.
Turquoise, just in place of Amazonite, so I don't hold up progress.
Onyx. So black onyx.
Onyx. This is such a cool one.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love my.
I love that. I know that this is kind of like off.
Oops.
But I love the color of the black onyx. It's got such a neat sort of
sheen,
like matte feeling to. I was just gonna say, like, it's got like such a different sort of sheen to it, and it's unlike other crystals, I think. Agate is another one that they mention.
Yeah. And
then and I'm gonna mispronounce this, so I'm just letting you know.
It's okay. Agate.
Apophyllite.
Oh, apophyllite, my favorite. This is like the highest vibrating spirit crystal. One of them.
That stone is beautiful. It's so like, it doesn't stand out like other crystals necessarily because the color is very very muted. But it's gorgeous, I think.
Yeah, it's really high vibration. And when I'm like meditating, I'll put a piece on my forehead. I have a bigger piece on one of my grids behind me. But if it wasn't for crystals, I wouldn't have made it the last 20 years. I honestly,
you told me that story, and that was a very moving story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as you navigate, whatever you're going through in your life, good, bad, and different, major healing curve, whatever it might be, to hear someone say something that is painless, that is basically economical, in the long term. You didn't have to take a course. You didn't have to throw yourself in the middle of travel. You just bought crystals.
Right.
And you got to know them and you worked with them, and that brought you to the place that you are at now by working with those crystals. That could be life-changing for someone, because I think that a lot of people, myself included, are sometimes, afraid to open themselves up and to start, sort of healing, or to work on the shadows or the past, or whatever the case may be, because you have navigated that pain or that trauma for so long that it feels so incredibly daunting. And to hear that you can work with crystals and that can bring you out, honestly, I think that's so powerful.
This
What is
one
that?
saved my life. It was obsidian, and when I was in excruciating pain for years and still trying to work and still trying to, I don't even know how I made it, how I even got dressed. I would sleep with it, and plus Buddy was here with me. Buddy would
Yes.
lay on my tailbone, and I would just have this between us. And if it wasn't for him and this crystal, I wouldn't have been able to get up and go and do it again.
Right.
And this thing's been with me a long time, and I just, whenever, because it's right here, whenever, and a bad thought, anything comes in, I just put my hand on it and readjust what
Right.
is coming in, because we get those bad thoughts, they sneak in, right? And they
Right.
really can destroy you.
Yeah. And as we're saying that, I mean, this is a component ish of Mercury retrograde, right? It's the frustration and the stress and the like you're trying to, you got to run out the door in your shoelaces in knots, and you got to like untie it, and like someone as a joke wanted to tie your shoelaces together, and you can't take a step. You know what I mean? It feels very like you're always running against the clock, or always trying to do like the fire drill kind of idea.
Let's talk about how not to do that.
Yes, let's.
During Mercury retrograde, because if we do take the advice from Spirit, take those pauses, slow down, and really, what needs done right now? Look at it like that, and just go moment to moment. Don't get yourself full of 100 things that got to be done by 2 o'clock, or life is going to just explode on you. It's not easy to do, but it is if you can we can reprogram ourselves as we deprogram the need to rush and hurry, and I'm not being productive enough, I'm not good enough because I'm not being productive enough. That's a deep-seated worthiness issue that a lot of us have. And I mean, this is what I'm saying. When those things come up, I put my hand on that crystal, because they still do come up. But I can sit there and I say, no, I go at my pace. I'm following my heart. I'm listening to my spirit, my guides, and I'm going to do A, B, C in this time frame, because I'm not on a time schedule. And I know a lot of us are. But if you are, give yourself enough time, give yourself grace to get through whatever it is. There's no hurry. In fact, this from August till December, January, it is all about going inside and reprogramming ourselves by loving ourselves, truly loving and accepting ourselves, and saying, my life is not going to fall apart if I'm not perfect. That perfect thing is part of the worthiness thing. We think if we're perfect enough, that we'll be worthy enough. We'll be valuable to others. We'll be valuable to ourselves, and that's really you. If I'm sitting here with no makeup, my hair's a mess, and I just look like I got out of the garden, I'm a mess. I have to be able to go and look at myself and say, I love you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I did anything. It doesn't matter if I'm dressed or not. It doesn't matter, And then we just go in the details. Did you eat? Did you have something healthy? Did you drink your water? Because that water really helps we're electromagnetic beings, right? And that electrical circuit in us constantly needs water to stay vibing.
Yeah.
When our vibration goes down, those are the first two things to look at. Grab some fruit and grab some water. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I think that like for me personally, I'm a very organized individual, and I know that not everybody can say that they are. So I find that I use my organization sort of skill to help me manage my time, because as odd as that is to say, I'm horrible at time management because I am like the queen of procrastination, right? And so
Okay. Can
I
I stop
use
you
my
real quick?
organization skills to help me with that.
Can I stop you real quick?
Hmm.
One sentence you said is gonna mess you up going forward. I'm horrible at time management, or I'm
I know.
horrible at anything.
Oh,
But
I know that's like totally negative and all wrong. I know,
even
I
if
get
it's
that.
true, even if it's true, you're not. You say, I'm doing my best with time management. I'm
Yeah,
doing I, anything, but the more we negate anything, and just even if we're being flippant about it, or
yeah,
self incriminating or whatever,
yeah.
it that sinks into ourselves.
Oh no, 100%. You keep saying that to yourself, and that's what you hear. It's like,
Yeah,
people make a joke about like a bad haircut, and all of
yeah,
a sudden you can't look at yourself in the mirror because you literally think you look like whatever people are joking about. My
I
my
was
point my
plagued
point
by
was
it.
my point was just to say that um, we're not all born perfect, and if you have
No,
an issue with allotting that time for yourself to give to yourself, because so many of us put so many other things above the priority of our own selves, that I use a skill that I have to help me put myself in the priority list, right?
yeah,
Because if I allow
absolutely.
myself to think about it, I will revert to the, yeah, well, whatever, I don't really matter. So that's kind of where I was going with that.
I'm always impressed with how you do your videos, how many you do, the topics you talk about. To me, I see you as so organized. I know all your decks
Oh
are
no, I know
organized.
I.
Your decks are sitting there organized. Am
Mhm.
I wrong? Okay, I
No,
know you're like that. You are just so you do you and that's you have that ability. You already have it, but yet
yeah,
we will tell ourselves things that um, contradict what proof is sitting right in front of us. I
100%,
I do it
100%.
myself, and I got to
Yeah.
stop and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm
Right.
not doing
So I think the way to do that, and listen, this is just my thought, right?
that.
Take it
Hmm.
with a grain of salt, but I think the way to do that is every single one of us has assets, right? We got
That,
skills, we got things that we excel at. So rather than looking at the things that you know, pardon me for saying suck at, look at the stuff that you're really good at,
that's
because
right.
there's probably way more things that you're good at than you're not, and
That's
we
right.
we, we because we do them, we don't even like look at it, we don't even acknowledge it. So my point is, I've been told my whole life, oh my god, you're so organized. I don't think I'm organized, that's just who I am. So I don't acknowledge it as like, wow, look at me, misorganization. I don't look
Hmm.
at it like that. So because I know I'm organized, I use that to help me, and I
Yeah.
schedule, as weird as that sounds, 15 minutes a day for myself.
Yes.
Because if I didn't, I wouldn't do it. Like, it's literally in my calendar. It's in
Yeah.
my calendar. Take Rosie for a potty break. Like, that's in my calendar. That's in my schedule. Because if it didn't do it, I'd be like I lose all track of time
What's your
because I
Virgo
am
in? I
I'm
mean,
queen of
what's your
procrastination.
Mercury in? I
What's
forget
that?
what's your Mercury in. I
Oh,
can't
I don't
remember.
remember. I am. What's my Mercury?
No, I
Diana.
don't have it. I don't have it handy. The thing is, if it's because you're a Leo,
Yeah.
If it's Virgo or Leo, I think you have something in Virgo, and I can't remember. But
Yeah.
okay, so this particular Mercury retrograde is in Virgo,
Yeah.
who scrutinizes. This is the hardest, probably one of the hardest signs where we bashed ourselves for not being perfect. Virgo wants
Yes.
perfect. Virgo
Yes.
wants it. Oh, you gotta discern
And
it,
they want
line
to
it
offer
up.
you all kinds of advice on how to help you be
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Like, if you
exactly.
can't make a list, they're going to help you write the list. I'll tell
Exactly.
you what you need to do. No.
So this is going to be a really hard Virgo Mercury retrograde season in Virgo, because we gotta we gotta relax that part of us, and
Yeah.
it's not
Okay.
easy.
Sorry, Belle, I
No,
didn't
you're
mean to
good.
cut you off. Can we just touch on this for a minute?
Of course.
First of all, I want to say hi to Kathy, and thank you so much for putting this in, because this is a really It's a hard thing to share, and it's an important thing that other people can learn from. Like I said at the beginning, Mercury retrograde is all about, it's like literally Mercury retrograde is there to like tie your shoes up so like you can't take a step forward, right? Tie your shoelaces. It's like if you were in the shoe store and you tried on the shoes and the elastic is still attached and you can't. So if you know that, right? Because knowledge is power. So now you know something. Now you know the fact. The fact is that Mercury retrograde is going to cause tension and chaos and stress, and everyone's just going to be a little bit more like agitated almost, I want to say. So what do we do when that happens? Well, we be kind to ourselves, right? We try to keep ourselves as center and aligned and grounded as possible, right? We remember that everyone else is feeling the same way that we are, maybe not in the same way that we are, but they are feeling the same way that we are. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to like be a little more patient. We're going to try to be a little more kind. We're going to come from a place of understanding and compassion. And if you can't, rule number 2 is count to 10. And rule number 3 is stay at home. Like, no joke.
Yep. This is what I'm saying. Let's keep our head down. Diana just sent me your chart. So I'm looking at it real quick, honey. You have Leo and Mercury.
Yeah. I am a full on Leo, all over the place.
Well, you have Venus in Virgo, Venus, Pluto, and Uranus. So that's, that Venus.
That's enough.
Okay, that's Venus is what we love and how we value things. So this is important to you to value time management.
Yes.
Right, to the point that you schedule the potty breaks in, and that's okay. It's okay. I mean, that if that works for you and it makes you happy and it makes you feel
like I don't
safe and content, that's what matters. But as for the last young lady, when we go out of the house and we say, "Oh God, it's Mercury retrograde and I'm gonna feel awkward," we will. It's just the way energy is. It's going to bring it right to you. There's going to be these instances where you feel awkward. If you can just say, okay, everybody's in Mercury retrograde. I'm going to just count to 3, say I love myself, or put my hand on my heart, and just accept things as they appear. I don't have to comment. I don't have to get entangled with anybody. I can always apologize if I did something wrong, really, but this is such a hard time to be human right now. We're in this age change. We're going to have 7 planets retrograde at the end of the month, but let's face it, for the last 6 years, it's been all day, every day. Our nervous systems are stressed out to the limit.
100%.
And we got to schedule in meditation, at least when you wake up and before you go to sleep. At least while you're laying there, get yourself aligned to your energy, clear. Say, I call back all my energy and I send back everyone else's energy. That's shouldn't be in my field.
Diana has assessed me. This is my assessment.
Oh, thank you, Diana. I like it, Diana.
Yeah.
But
so I just want to say to add to what you were saying to Kathy. I mean, I get it. I have anxiety panic disorder, so I get it. I get what going. I don't leave my house, as everyone knows. So I get it. I get what going out and feeling that, and then it just makes you even, it brings on the anxiety before you've even gotten to the thing yet, or to the place yet.
I do have a trick, because I don't like going out either. I worked in restaurants my whole life, and I found over the last few years, I have PTSD. I can't even go into a restaurant. I gotta leave. I can't stay.
No, me too.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, what's wrong with me? Well, why did something have to be wrong with me? Do you know how stressful it is to work in a restaurant? So that's okay. I don't want to go to a restaurant. But when
Mhm.
I have to go to wherever, Walmart or the drugstore or wherever, I can give myself a few breaths. I take in and I pull out a bubble of gold or pink, gold sparkly light or a pink plasma. And I cover my car in it. I cover the roads in it. I cover the place I'm going in it. And
Yeah.
I do the little things. I always have a crystal or two or three in my bra, in my purse,
Yeah.
wherever, just to get that. And but I have to really. It comes down to this before I even leave. Before I even think of leaving, am I? Do I feel like going out there? Because if I don't feel like it, I won't do it anymore. I'm not forcing
Well,
myself.
that's a very good point. That should be. I think that we should like pause on that point for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that when I say anxiety, and I mean no disrespect to anybody, I am not talking about everyday stress. I am talking about diagnosed anxiety that could put you into a
Mm-hmm.
panic attack. So that's very different, right? Not to take away from just being stressed. If you feel like if that little voice in the back of your head is like, like, oh God, don't go, then don't do it. Do not push yourself, because the further you push yourself, when your body is telling you no, and we all know the difference. We know when that little voice is saying, excuse me, no, you're not. There's other times when you're just like, oh, I just don't feel like it. That's not what we're talking about. We're literally talking about like you start to like panic almost,
Yes.
because the idea of stepping foot outside is just so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. I mean, listen, we are in a stage now where we can like order groceries in, we can, ask a
Exactly.
neighbor, you can wait till
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, everyone notices I chew gum all the time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chewing gum, proven statistic, helps you to concentrate and to focus. The minute that I get out of my car to go into a building or to a store or to wherever, pop a piece of gum in my mouth. Whether
That's
it's a thing or it's not, I feel like it makes me feel better.
right.
So I'm going to do that because I listen to my body. I
Mm-hmm.
use this. This is a company in Canada. It's called sage.com. Shout out if
Mm-hmm.
you like the
That's
sponsor of the
great.
channel.
Yeah.
It'd be lovely. This is
That's good.
the anti-stress oil,
Yep.
right? It's made with all natural stuff. It
Mm-hmm.
helps me, keeps me calm. Drink water after bedtime, helps to keep you calm. Go out into nature, right? Go out into nature. 90
Okay.
minutes, proven statistic, 90 minutes in
Mm-hmm.
nature outside will help to decrease your anxiety by up to 40%. It's
Absolutely.
free.
Yeah.
Now, I realize that we've had like horrible temperatures, and I mean, going outside is like, do I want to melt today? No, I don't. But you can look out the window, you can look
That's
out the
right.
window and sort of still get the effects. You could watch a video of maybe like watching a waterfall or like birds, like in
I
a
love.
sanctuary, butterflies. The point that I'm trying to say is that there are things that you can do. It's very individual, in my opinion. Everybody has their thing. Everyone has their go-to. Some people will take food with them. Some people will take a blanket. Some people
Mm-hmm.
will do tapping, right? Real fast
Mm-hmm.
tapping exercise. It's
Do
on my
what?
channel
Yeah.
that
Do what
my
you
therapist gave me, right? You go underneath your eyes, then you go to your
Mm-hmm.
collarbone, then you put one hand over your heart, and then you go right here where like your bra strap would be. And that's just funny because it's like the chicken dance. And then you repeat. That's following the vagus nerve that
Mm-hmm.
sends the adrenaline through your body. There's box breathing that you can do. Box breathing is real simple. It's the same amount of counts for the inhale, same amount of counts for the
Mm-hmm.
holding, and the same amount of counts for the exhale. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever. Meditation, positive affirmations. There's all kinds of things that you can do, that you can fill up your spiritual toolbox with to
Mm-hmm.
help you in these moments when you feel like, oh, I'm starting to freak out. I'm starting to
Mm-hmm.
panic. I feel like I'm not in control anymore. Um, So I don't know if any of that helped or not, but and I didn't mean to
Absolutely. No, it does. I mean, in that breathing, just taking a deep breath, holding your heart. Kelly, I was a little kid. I was stressed out. I grew up in a very violent household.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I started smoking at 11. Okay, that's how stressed out I was. I always woke up with a panic attack. I didn't know that that was something until way later. I had children. And I'd wake up and my heart would seize up in my chest. I mean, I was just always in that fight or flight. And you really hit a good point on the vagus nerve. As soon as you can calm that vagus nerve, take those breaths, take rock. I mean, this is why I started getting into all this. I had to figure out what was wrong with me. Why am I like this? Why
Yeah.
am I so? And I was snappy because I was always on guard, you know. So I didn't want to be like that. But
I listen. That's why I came here, is because, you know, it's gonna make me cry. You know, my mom died, and I didn't handle it well. And the day after my mom died, I found out my father was terminal. I didn't handle that well, and then he refused to speak to us because we didn't tell him that my mom was sick because she made us promise not to. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. And over the course of the last almost 12 years, everything that I held dear to me has just gone because I lost complete control. I don't blame myself for that. I tried to get the right kind of help, and it just never seemed to be working. It never seemed to fit. It never seemed to resonate. I came here and people heard me and people supported me and I felt loved. And finally, I was ready to listen. And that is also another point that I want to make. And I think that we need to remember that. And I say this all the time, and we're going way off track, but that's totally okay because obviously it was meant to happen. So
that's right.
When you are going through whatever it is that you're going through, it doesn't matter what it is that you're going through. You want answers, you want a way out, because no one wants to be that way, right? No one wants to feel sad and broken. Nobody wants that. But until you are ready to accept that you have the power to change that you have the control over your mind and your body and your heart to navigate that path, to get yourself back to where you want to be. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm honest, that is why I started my channel, is because I want to be here for you until you realize that moment. It took me 12 years to realize that I had the power to control what happened to me. I did not want to accept that. I did not want to hear it. I didn't want to deal with it. And I'm totally okay saying it because I'm a human being, friends.
Yeah.
Shocking, but I'm just a person. You know, I don't come with an instruction manual. And one night I was sitting out on my porch at like 10:30 at night because I love that time of night, and watching my neighbors weeping willow tree sort of just dance around in the wind, watching the stars, and I'm crying, like the tears are coming. This is not a joke. And all of a sudden I was just like, oh my God, I did this to myself. I thought I was doing everything I needed to do to embrace myself and protect myself from the fear that had hijacked my life because of the anxiety. And by isolating and removing myself from everything that I knew and everything that I loved, I made myself a stranger to my own self. Like I didn't even recognize who I was anymore.
That's right.
And in that moment, friends, boom, was like, I didn't walk in the house and beat myself up. I didn't walk in the house and say, okay, get to work. I just walked in the house and felt, whew, man, that was powerful. And I just kept on going. That was when that moment happened for me that I hoped for 10 years would happen every day. I wished for it. I prayed for it. And then there it was. And there was no big celebration. There was no big change in my life other than the fact that I let go of that. Do you know what I mean? I just let go of that. Meaning beating myself up that I was not doing something right, because I always felt like, here's a list of 10 things that you could do to help yourself, and it was the one thing that I was like, yeah, that doesn't work for me, or I don't like that one. That one sounds, and that was the one that I would hold on to, that because I couldn't get well because I didn't do that one thing, or I didn't fully apply myself to that one thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
see, that's part of the programming, right?
yes,
So when
yeah,
we realize that it's only us that can heal us,
yeah.
and go in, we come to this point where you come to a point where you're like,
Ooh, that made
okay,
me
I
hot.
realized it was me. Are you
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. No, I'm fine.
I was changing some
Listen,
healing
that is
lifestyle.
why, I'm not trying to, like, ooh, look at Kelly, I'm a superstar. I'm just saying that is why I started my channel, is because I don't know what happened to me. And it seems insane to me when I logically sort of put it together. My mom died and I literally lost my plot. I know it happens to a lot of people, but
Hmm.
people have had horrific things happen to them and they still can function like a normal human being. And
Well,
I
but
blamed myself for that. And so all I'm trying to say is, no matter what you go through, it is okay. There are people that care about you, and that's why I started my channel. Was I don't want anyone to feel the way that I did. Nobody understood. I was blamed. I was shamed. There was a whole lot of judgment and criticism coming at me, and I tried to get the right kind of help. I went to doctors and therapists and psychiatrists, and I couldn't get anybody that I felt was invested in me like I wanted them to be invested in me.
because
I would have
and that is all
conversations with
because
people.
we don't invest in ourselves. That person is
True,
never going to show up until you invest in you.
100%, and they didn't
And
know
that
any of that.
and
Yeah,
we don't know it, right? And
yeah,
here we go.
yeah,
All of us come to that realization one day. But if you just take it real simple and go, okay, this next moment, do I want to live in fear or do I want to live in love?
yeah,
Because that's really what all of this is about. Is it
yeah.
fear
And
or
and
love?
and it's funny to me because it's like I paid thousands of dollars in therapy,
Hmm.
thousands of dollars in therapy.
It's what it's designed to do.
And wouldn't it have been awesome if one of those therapists had have just said that one sentence to me? That
That's
one
not what they
sentence.
get
Now,
paid for. That
I
ain't
am going to
some
sit
of the
here
job.
and I'm going to tell you that I have arrived at this spot. And even though I'm like a mess at the moment, I am so far ahead of where I ever thought I was ever going to be. Friends, I am
Hmm.
sitting here with hope. I am sitting here with a contented heart. I am sitting here looking forward to getting up tomorrow. I am looking forward to the future. I feel like, and I used to say that I was finished. I was older than dirt, that I was an old lady. And I'm not, but I said it because I thought that I needed to keep myself in that, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Because I couldn't be like, God, I'm like 45 and I don't have a job because I can't hold a job because I have anxiety. Like it did, I could not condition myself to be accepting of that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And here I sit with this channel, which I started in all the wrong ways, and it just kind of like became this thing. It gave me a purpose. It gave me a reason to wake up. I felt love. I felt supported. I felt embraced. I am so proud of what I have created, what we have created together. I am so proud to be a part of this community on the days when these kinds of things happen, right? When we're supposed to be doing a show about X and we end up doing a show about B, and B is the thing because I obviously needed this tonight.
Hmm.
Because one person said something in the chat, and so I love this. This is I
Hmm.
live for this. And when I come away from this tonight, I'm probably going to cry my eyes out. I'm going to journal like a mad woman, and tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to feel like a brand new person. The weight of the
Hmm.
world is going to be once again removed from my shoulders, and so
Hmm.
I love that spirit put us in that path. right?
Yeah.
And so all I'm trying to say is this, because I got off on another tangent. I do that, friends. I'm sorry. My soapbox is a real thing. What I was going to say was I used to think that I was finished. I have just celebrated my 58th birthday like a week and a half ago. 58, how did that happen? I don't know. I feel like I'm 15 years old because I am that excited. I am that inspired. I can't wait for tomorrow. I can't wait for Saturday and Sunday and next Tuesday and 3 Thursdays from now. I can't wait. I got show ideas lined up for the next 6 months because I am that inspired.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I was going to see Christmas
Yeah.
many years in a row. You know, I didn't think that I was going to see my birthday. So for me to be sitting here in this position, in this moment, in this feeling, in this vibration, it is real, it works. And it starts with a kindness to yourself and a kindness for other people that think the same way that you do. And it's a beautiful thing. So try to at least be open to that part of it. And if you feel stuck or you feel upset or you feel hurt, you feel discouraged, you feel fear, you feel pain, there are people within this community that are willing and ready to embrace you and hold your hand and sort of help you along the journey. So I'll be quiet now.
A lot of
That was a lot.
No, but it's perfect for this Mercury retrograde period we're going through. We just got out of Leo season where we're being asked to look at our hearts. Are we going to choose fear? Janet, you're afraid to go out. Yeah, some parts of the U.S. are not safe to go in. But that shouldn't, and I don't know where you live, so I don't want to say should or shouldn't, but try to be mindful of that when you do go out. You know where's safe, go where safe is. This is our core essence is it wants to be safe. It wants to be secure. It wants to be valued, right? But you can't do anything without feeling safe and secure. And if you don't feel that, there's a bigger mountain to climb, right? But find that space in our hearts right now. Let go of all this stuff that the things Kelly was talking about, the things I'm talking about, the anxiety, as best as you can. You can work yourself through it. I've talked myself through it for years to get to, and sometimes it'll still come in, but I'm telling you, on this other side, it's not the focus anymore. The focus is
not.
What am I doing today? I'm going to make this. I'm going to.
Do you not find, Val, that you have? I mean, because I think it's because it becomes part of your normal dealing with that, or like say like you have like a bad knee, for example, and like because you are so used to dealing with that kind of pain and managing that and working with maybe I can't do certain things because my knee is bad, because you become so used to that just becomes part of your day, and you sort of like forget about it. And what I mean by that is it's not your sole focus. So imagine now you go and you get an operation on your knee, or you get a miracle drug, or find a physical therapist or something, and then all of a sudden tomorrow you wake up and guess what? Your knee's not hurting, and the first day it doesn't hurt. You're like, oh my God, thank you, right? And the next day it doesn't hurt. You're like, this is the weirdest thing ever. And then 5 days later, your knee isn't hurting, and all of a sudden you forgot that your knee ever hurt in the first place. 3 weeks from now, when that knee starts to hurt, you're like, oh my God, I can't get out of bed. This is the worst pain in the whole wide world, because you weren't focused on it.
It's so true. It's so true. It is. Where do you place your focus?
Yeah, I think that fear works the same way, because
absolutely
you try so hard to fight it that you then learned some coping mechanisms. You cope with it. Then it's not your sole focus because you're managing it. And now all of a sudden, I have 15 good days and 5 bad days. And before it was like, I'd be lucky if I had 5 good minutes. That's how I felt. So now when the anxiety creeps in, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? It's almost like it's starting all over again. But the point is, I know that I can handle it. And as long as I allow myself to recognize that I am in control, that I have the tools that I need to be able to keep this in check or keep this on a certain level, I'm good.
That's right.
I'm not going to lie to you. There are those moments where there's like that 5 minute thing where I'm like, ooh, what's happening? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It sneaks in, it creeps in. But see, once you're aware of your energy, and this is another thing, the 12 universal spiritual laws say, well, they came later, but we do them anyway. We just
Yeah,
don't know that's what we're doing. And if you could look those up, and it will help you focus in on your energy, because once you are conscious of your energy in all moments, nothing out here can come in at you.
right.
Sometimes it'll sneak in, but it really matters. This matters the most. Are we choosing fear or love? And where
Yeah.
are we focusing? Because where your focus goes, your energy goes. If
Sorry,
you're
I'm
always
having a
focused,
cigarette.
if you're focused in fear, or you're focused in anxiety, or I'm not good enough, you got to ask yourself, why am I not good enough? What am I anxious about? What is it? Only we can fix it. Like Kelly said, you're the
100%.
only one who can go in there and say, no, we're going to try something new. And at
Mm-hmm.
least take it, whatever it is. I'm unworthy, and flip it. No, I am worthy. I am worthy. I
Yeah.
am worthy. If you got to repeat it to yourself 1,000 times a day until it sticks, because
Yeah.
that's what it takes, repetition.
Yeah. I also want to mention this. Bye, Hershey, by the way. Thank you for being here, my friend.
I
I did
heard
want to
you.
mention this as well. And that is, and sorry, I'm having a cigarette. I'm like totally
No.
comfortable. It's like a therapy session. I love it. The second thing I was going to say, or this next thing I was going to say, is this. You will find that when you are going through these types of things, that it's really hard to find supportive friends. It is hard to find people that understand. It's hard for you to understand because you can't really explain it to yourself. How in the heck are you supposed to explain it to other people? Hi, Twisted Sushi. I'm so sorry. I didn't even say hi to you.
Janet, I'm sorry,
Thank you for being
Janet.
here. So when you start to adopt some of these sort of policies and start to incorporate some of these tips and tools into your life, um, I think that a lot of people hold back and are fearful. And the reason I'm saying this is I think it was Jess that said I talk to myself all the time, which made me think of this. You know, you think, oh my God, people are going to think I'm nuts. If we know that people think you're nuts without it, so you know, don't. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't put boundaries in your own way that allow you to not help yourself because you're fearful that someone might look at you sideways. Because they'll be looking at you sideways if you continue the way that you are. Do you know what I mean? They're already judging you. So you got to do what is best for you. To Valerie's point, no one else is going to do this for you. No one else can do this for you. This is a personal thing, right? It's no different than going on a diet. I want to lose 20 pounds.
Right.
It's right. I want to start jogging. Whatever it is, it's that kind of an idea, and you really have to be quite committed to. I don't want to live like this anymore, right? I don't want to have this pain inside me anymore. I don't want my life to be hijacked by fear, like whatever. I mean, because that's my statement. That's my mission, right? I don't want my life to be hijacked by fear. That's what I say to myself.
Yep. You do get fed up. You get fed up, and one day you're like, "That's it. I don't care what it is." So the easiest thing that came in as a suggestion to me was, whatever it is, flip it and focus on the opposite of that fear to
Yes.
get. And it takes a little while. I'm not going to say this like Janet. I'm sorry. She lives in an apartment building with a lot of crime in a bad area. And see,
Awful.
how do you go through that? How do you
Yeah.
make it your safety and security
Yeah.
better? Uh, I have something I'll send to you, Janet, that I've been looking at, and it's about housing, and I'll send it to you. But I mean, like, I really want to save people. I want to give her a safe place. Like, how do we
Yes.
do? How do we? Emotional
Um.
things are one thing, but how do you your physical location, especially what rent costs now and
Yes.
housing?
Yeah. No. Absolutely. And I mean, and that's the thing. And I think, and I'm not being smart, so I hope that no one takes offense to this. But I think that this is when these kinds of tips and tools that we all share for many different reasons within the spiritual community can be so helpful. Because if you feel like you're protected, for example, if you feel that you have, like extra prayers on your side, if you feel that you have, some sort of knowledge that other people don't have, it just allows you to breathe a little bit easier, right? It allows you to navigate with a little more confidence.
Yeah.
It allows you to feel, I almost want to say like a little freer, right?
Yeah.
Now, I am not in any way trying to say that where you live is not where you live and that the situation isn't real. But and I'm sure that you already do this, but there's lots of protection prayers that you can put in place that may help. There's physical things that you can do to help with protection. And then there's, of course, all of us that can help.
And I call dragons in. Anytime I feel I need protected, well, they're always around, but that's how I started working with dragons, was for protection. And you call them in and they just stay in your energy field. And,
Yeah.
and dragons are the most ancient of the beings from Gaia, from Mother Earth. They're
Right.
the wisest beings, and they give you they show you information to get you out of these situations while they're protecting you. And I know this sounds airy fairy or fantasy, but I'm telling you, without the dragons, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have.
Right. And I think, but here's the thing, Val, like to what you just said, I think that's the whole point. This isn't about what other people think. This is about what resonates with you, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel comfortable. So if you are comfortable, lining up the walls of your house, for example, with crystals, then do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If that makes you feel better, if that puts that little extra pep in your step, if that makes you feel like you can breathe easier, then go ahead and do it, right? Because you're doing something for yourself. That's not a bad thing. You are putting your faith in yourself and listening to your inner wisdom and your gut instinct and your intuition. And I say, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It doesn't always have to be like what everyone else thinks is right, if that makes sense.
No, other people's opinion of me is their business. That's how I. That's 100%. How I. I mean, and you have to be tough in the restaurant business, thick-skinned, because people come at you and they think, especially if they think you're just sweet and easy to come at, they come at you and they come at you hard. And
or when you have a YouTube channel.
Many times I was in the back. Many times I was in the back cooler crying because of what people said to me. It's brutal. So that was an experience lots of years. But I'm going to say something Linda got here. For me, it's being patient. One bad day can feel like all the good things I did for myself aren't working. Now, let me explain bad days, bad moments. It's about life. Life is experiences, and there is no way that we can have all good experiences. That's unrealistic.
Yeah.
So if you have a bad day or a bad moment, it's because something is being brought to your attention to re-examine.
Yeah.
Okay, did I handle this wrong, or is this person handling this wrong? Am I supposed to even talk to this person anymore? I mean, it could be a billion things, right? Yeah. But don't let a bad day rule you. It's just an experience. Yeah. Now, I've had them, and I have done this many a times, but now I try to just look at it and say, you know what? That's their issue. Or, oh, wow, the mail didn't come, or whatever, it is. There can be serious bad days, and I understand that. And sick.
I totally vibe with what you're saying, Linda. And this is what I say to myself. I'm like, okay, you know what? I literally get out my schedule because I'm all about the schedule. This isn't going to be this much of a stretch for y'all to believe. I look at my calendar and I'm like, counting it up like the proverbial movie in the jail cell where you're Xing the days off before you get out. And I'm like, I've had 9 really good days where I did not feel anxious at all. Mm-hmm. and again, I don't want to get emotional. Every time I say that, I can't believe that I've landed in a spot where I, after 12 years, don't feel anxious every single day, because that's how I felt every single day for 12 years. So I can't believe that I'm on that side.
It's
so
unreal.
That's when to what Val just said, I just look at it and go, I forget that it's a bad day, and that's okay. You know what? I'm going to cozy up with a book. I'm going to hang out with my animals. I'm going to love up on my husband. I'm phone my sister. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to pop into an awesome chat like Val's or something like that. I'm going to touch, reach out with all you guys and get some love and some support. I'm going to be kind to myself. And then I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow's another day. And tomorrow I'm not going to feel like this. Right. So I concentrate on the good and instead of the not so good is what I want to say.
And when I get down, I know it's something that spirit, my guides are bringing something to my attention. Now, and this is the hard one. I want to find out what it is and what it is. If I know what it is, I can heal it or I can fix it. But they tell me you're not going to know everything that's going wrong. These are deep cellular issues from lifetimes. So if something's coming up to be released and it's coming out as a bad day, I'm having a fight with your boyfriend or your mom or whatever, to stop, pause, and say, all right, I'm going to release this and work through it the best you can. Send it all love, whatever it is. I send everything love. It could be the worst thing. The IRS just sent me a bill and I owe $2,000. Well, I send the IRS love. What am I going to do? It's make a payment plan. If it really did happen, that's what I would do. But that's all we can do. We have to work with what is in our in our vicinity. Our vicinity is our business. Anything outside of my vicinity is not my business. And that's how I separate it. But as for the anxiety, Kelly, I don't know how long it was for me. I know I was a little kid. I was always stressed out. I was always stressed out. I had anxiety attacks. And really, I had kids when I was 30. I lived like that for a long time. And that's a lot of stress on our nervous systems. Our nervous systems are really taking a hit. And, magnesium helps calm that.
Yeah. Well, you almost get to that point. You almost get to the conclusion. You almost come to the conclusion that unless there's chaos around you, you can't function properly because that is like your normal. Right?
Oh my God, that's brilliant. It's true. It's like, oh my God, what's wrong? It's too quiet.
And I will admit, I'm going to tell you guys a story to that point, right? And I know you got to go soon. But I want to say this. Janet C said it's not my intention to bring down the chat, and I don't. I hope you didn't. And that's why I put that. We love and appreciate you, Janet.
Never, Janet.
That wouldn't be the same without you, my friend. So I just want to quickly mention this. When I was first diagnosed with anxiety, I didn't know what was going on with me. I was having like 6 to 8 panic attacks a day, and it was the worst experience ever because I was scared to death. I literally thought I was dying. And
you think you're going to have a heart attack?
Yeah. I had so much stress going on with the passing of my mom and dealing with that, and then my father now being terminal. It was not something that I could like logically sort out. And anyway, so I had a therapist, and the therapist said to me one day, we need to figure out what makes Kelly happy. It's 12 years later, and I don't know that I could tell you what makes me happy. And the fact that I couldn't figure out what made me happy actually created more anxiety than anything that has ever happened to me, I want to tell you. And we tried everything. I came up with all kinds of plans and ideas and everything. I said to her, she was like, no, that doesn't do it, because everything was associated with my mom in some way. It had to be something for me. And then I became desperate to find something, and I couldn't. So long story short, my husband said, because he's so awesome, make sure y'all tell him I give him a shout out if you see him next. or when you see him next. And he said to me, well, you used to love camping in the RV, so why don't we, let's go look at a new trailer. So we bought a new trailer, and I remember the first weekend that we were in the trailer, and I made breakfast. I mean, it's like a 29-foot trailer. It's not like it's a big deal, but I made breakfast and I cleaned up, and then we were sitting in the two chairs, like, Ma and Pa kettle, and he was like reading a newspaper, and I was like, I don't know, crocheting or doing something. And I just started to cry. And he looked at me like, why are you crying? And I said, because we're doing something normal. And it was the first time in like 2 years that I felt like I could sit there and just be in quiet and not feel like this like panic starting to build up within me, because like I was so used to like waiting for the shoe to drop kind of feeling.
I want to say bye to Janet real quick. Janet, I hope you're not leaving because you think you brought down the chat, because you did not. We're just trying to help each other figure out how to raise each other up. You never could do anything wrong, Janet. We love you. But it's true though, Kelly. You go into these long time periods where nothing is calm, and when calm comes, it feels wrong for a little while.
Yeah, because you almost are afraid to let your guard down for fear that something's going to happen, and you feel unprepared. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. It's like a coping mechanism. At least that's how it starts. That you sort of like brace yourself for impact almost.
Absolutely. That's our nervous system. That's our fight, flight. And it takes, it's really life-changing when you can be calm in your energy field.
100%.
It's life-changing. And I didn't even know it was possible. I'm with Kelly. I had no idea it was a possibility. But this is something that's coming at us even now. So if we still struggle. There's no perfect here at all.
There isn't.
Anywhere.
But it's manageable. And I think that now that I know that it's manageable because I've done it, because when you do it, when you apply this stuff and you have like one good day or one good week, you're like, okay, I'm ready. Like, give me more. I feel like a sponge, right? So this is what I want to do real quick, because we went we're not way over, but we've gone over. And I apologize, but I hope that this was helpful in some sort of way. So let's toss a couple of cards.
Linda, I understand that feeling. I have been there. I used to regret everything. I never gave myself any credit. It's awful to live like that. You're retired, so you're grieving what my life was. Well, now check this out. This is what Spirit is asking us right now. What do you love? Do you love yourself? Do you love yourself enough? And this is not like to guilt trip you. It's honestly, do you love yourself enough to do whatever brings you joy in every moment? It doesn't have to be some big thing. It's not about that. It's like Kelly said, going to sit outside, taking some breaths, sitting with your pets. What is it that gives you that joy, at least contentment? It doesn't have to be, I'm happy and excited every minute. No.
Yeah.
Be content. Because this is what we're really being asked. Because this is what's going to open the doors for us going these next 5 months.
100%.
And if we're not connected, to our heart, and at least attempting to figure out what does bring us joy, it's going to get tighter and tighter of a squeeze. And I'm not trying to say that to scare anybody, but that's how Spirit wakes us up.
Yeah.
You will be squeezed until you understand that it's you that has to change.
Yeah. I think that, we, all of us as human beings, we fall into these like categories and these like sort of positions in our lifetime, right? Like women are meant to like clean the house and have babies, right? And, men do whatever it is that men do. I'm not a man, so I don't know. take the garbage out.
There
Sorry,
you go.
sorry, that was a joke. My bad. You know what I mean, though. So I think that like your life is defined by your occupation because that's what society has sort of led us to that, right?
Yeah.
So you have this attachment to what you did.
Yes.
I don't have any children. I was very attached to my job. When my mom died, all I wanted to do was go back to work because it was the place that I felt like I was most Kelly, right? Where I could thrive and survive. And I'll tell you what, friends, because of course this happened. I mean, why wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I had taken a 2-month leave of absence from when my mom got when she was ready to transition, and in that time, I got a new boss and a new location and a new job description, and I showed up to work like I was a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what was going on, and they said to me, "We are changing the filing system from alphabetical to date, or sorry, from numerical to date." And I went into that file room, which was like a massive room with like, file cabinets, from here to, where. And I was like, I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I cried. I walked in, I walked out, I walked in, I walked out. I tried like 3 or 4 times. It made me so upset that I was physically ill.
Yep.
Because I couldn't figure it out.
Mm-mm.
Because the thing that I had always done, the thing that I felt like I could do with my eyes closed, the thing that I attached myself to, all of a sudden was now different. Like everything changed, and I wasn't ready to accept and ready to roll with that change, right? So you are defined by your job, right? You're defined by your career. That's what you did for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it is. And now it's Tuesday and you're like, okay, what do I do today? So my best suggestion is find yourself a hobby. Write down a list of things that you want to do and go have some fun. Search the internet, look for some, like interesting facts, watch some documentaries, buy yourself a book, and just allow yourself to, because maybe you don't know what it is that makes you happy or what it is that you want to do. Maybe you don't have a particular hobby. Like I like to crochet, for example. So maybe you don't have one. So allow yourself to navigate the space to find one, right? Take yourself over here to the beach. If you can't go to the beach physically, look at the beach. Come and watch my videos. So you can just like look at the background. You know what I mean? Like there's things that you can do to allow yourself the time and the space to navigate it, because I think that it is really unfair that people that have a job that then move into the retirement sort of situation or phase of their life, that they're expected like tomorrow to go, yep, fine. All of a sudden the thing I did for 40 years is not the thing I'm doing anymore. How do you navigate that without feeling some sort of way?
That's right. It's taken me the last 4 years since COVID, because I stopped working and I never went back. But
so this is
what very uncomfortable about that. It is possible there to find something you do love and give yourself that grace. Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say let's do like a collective reading, because we can't do the readings now. Let's do like a collective reading. We'll toss like 2 or 3 cards and let's sort of give everyone a message as to what we can do over this period of time. And thank you everyone for being here. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, leave comments under the video, all that good stuff. No matter whose channel you're watching this from. Congratulations to Valerie for reaching 1,000 subscribers. It is much well deserved, my friend.
And anyone, I'm not trying to sell reading, but I do psychic intuitive readings, and they are based on where are you going forward from this moment. If you would like to do that, they're very, very, very extremely affordable, and it lasts about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I record them and send you the recording after we're done. So I
I
got
do.
strength.
I do readings too.
Yes. Really does. It sure help
Just
you on your path. You're such an excellent reader. So
well,
this
thank
is
you, my friend.
strength. We all are gonna have this next until, well, for as long as we're alive, but definitely until December. Got that inner strength, got to come in. Stick to what you love. Stick to what you only focus on you and what you want to do going forward. Of course, you know your family and things like that. Of course, you love your family, so you're going to focus on them. But this energy is designed to pull us out of our center on purpose. So we walk around confused and anxious and unworthy and mad and it's don't play the game if you can help it. We are stronger than we know. And I know Kelly got
Sorry,
something.
that's my dog losing her mind in the living room, and I'm not sure what's going on. And my
Uh-oh.
husband's like, "Shh."
Then I got wizard of awareness.
Wow.
So we're all coming into our, I think we're all coming into our genius. We're already beautiful souls, and we're remembering who we are, what we are.
Right.
And you're so much more than what this this last few thousand years on this planet has dictated to us as we
Yeah.
labeled us to be.
I have like a total healing story in front of me, which I just think is beautiful.
Cool.
Gotta love it when that happens. And what I think is interesting is that
Diana,
I'm all
listen.
about the color of my cards. And oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. I was showing Diana because we're into this. We've been getting a lot of information from Merlin and Camelot. And Lady of the Lake came out, and that's new beginnings. Something is about to happen. That's for all of us. Something is about to happen. And
I've got that.
you are the creator of that thing. Don't let the world do it for you because they're not looking out for your best interest. Go ahead. What do you got? Same thing?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought that you were done though. I was just gonna say, like, I love it. I'm all about the colors of my cards. You guys know, I coordinate all
Mm-hmm.
my cards. It's weird, but I've got like one card that's like standing out, and like the rest of them are all color coordinated. So we start out with disruption,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
right,
So true.
which is the retrograde. I sort of got the same vibe that you did. I've got universal mind, and
Nice.
that message is you are about to receive the solution to your problem or concern. So the disruption is going to, I want you guys to think of this disruption as the tower card. And a lot of people think the tower is, it's a life-changing event.
Mm-hmm.
Why does life-changing event have to be negative?
It's not.
Perhaps it is liberation. Perhaps it is freedom,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a revelation,
Yes.
right? It's all in the way you choose to look at something. We
Mm-hmm.
have closure, which is just beautiful.
Oh, look at that.
So the disruption happens, the solution is on its way. We start to
Mm-hmm.
get the closure. We start to love ourselves up with the cleansing waters, right? Purification activates vibrant life force. And the last card that I've got is the Sun in Leo
Ah,
and Joy. And at the top, it says a time of celebration and success. Like
oh
you
my.
did it, shine your light and do your happy dance.
And it's still shining on us.
Mm-hmm.
This Leo sun is still it really has restructured our DNA. And I'm not kidding. This is
Yeah.
big. This was big Leo sun and Venus there. Oh my God, that's a beautiful message. I got something else about the tower too, but the tower, like Kelly said, it is just change. We're so afraid to change because we like the comfort of the same thing day in and day out. But there's so much more to this whole this whole life, especially these next few years. It's
Yeah.
really, really cool. beautiful messages.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Please do go check out Valerie's channel for those of you that aren't on Valerie's channel. And for those of you that are on Valerie's channel, please come check me out if you're not already familiar. All the links are in the description box below. Valerie does readings. How do they contact you, Valerie, for a reading? Just email you?
Yeah, just email me. Here, I can put my email in real quick if anyone needs to.
Yeah. And mine is in the description box. If anybody wants to get a reading, I do it by donation. So whatever you can afford to pay at the time. When are you going to be on next, Valerie?
Sunday day with the Crone Zone about this Mercury retrograde, and Sunday evening with Dream Detective Kate in our show called Love Notes, which is designed to help us love ourselves, how to authentically really love ourselves and accept ourselves.
Awesome. I will be back on Monday at 7 p.m., which is my normal time, and I will have Thomas from Cherry Way joining me, looking at, are you looking for direction?
Oh, I love it.
On Tuesday, I'm with Allie at 6 p.m. Wednesday, I'll be back at 8 doing full moon readings, and next Thursday, Ivana Intuitive and I have teamed up to do what we are calling happy hour.
Oh, that sounds really cool. I love Ivana. You guys will have so much
telling
fun.
you any more than that. That's all I can say. So make sure that you have your bell notification ticked off so that you don't miss any new announcements or shows or whatever.
And one more thing, and I do have full moon with Diana at 9 p.m. next Wednesday on the full moon of Pisces, second full moon of August. Powerful. It's a lot coming up, a lot of this energy and a lot of the distortion and trauma and anxiety we're feeling is because of all this change. It's coming in and changing us on a cellular level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really will help if you can focus in on your breathing and drink water, at least.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, friends, we're going to call it a night. Have yourselves a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend for all of you that are headed. Maybe you're already in Friday, depending on where you are in the world. I just want to quickly say we send our thoughts and our prayers to everyone that is affected by this crazy weather that we seem to be experiencing, whether it be hurricanes, flash flooding, the wildfires, tornadoes, the onset, rain, extreme temperatures. Please be safe. Make sure that you reach out to your friends and family and your neighbors and make sure that they're okay too. Do what you can. Let's spread a little love, a little bit of prayer, and a little bit of kindness around the world, because we are definitely stronger together. All right, my friends, until we see each other again, I wish you many blessings. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah.
Love you all. Be safe. Mwah.